People don't try anymore, so that's why there's no more relationships, right? People don't put any more effort into relationships. That's why nobody's in them. Nobody's trying anymore, right? And hi, my name is Simon. If you're new here, please follow, subscribe, like. But you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. Let me break this down, okay? What I've noticed a lot in relationships is that a lot of people, right? Typically people that are still dating, I don't know if this still applies to like older people 50 and plus, but like, I mean, no offense. No one's trying. And what I mean by that is that no one's really putting any effort. I feel like, nowadays it's almost seen as like corny or like, very lame to put an effort to a relationship when it's someone that it's new, right? Like let's say for example, like if you're a guy, right? You approach a girl that you think is attractive and she's receptive to your approach and she actually is like excited for you to ask her out and all this stuff, right? And then so you get her number and stuff like that. So, but I feel like, as y'all are starting to talk, I feel like the more and more you talk, the less and less interested she is. Now, obviously this isn't every girl, but I feel like a lot of girls, this applies to a lot of girls and some guys too, right? I feel like some guys pull away the more effort a girl's putting in. I've definitely done that, and I've definitely had that happen to me. And I'm just wondering why. Now, I think the reason why for this is because people are scared to get hurt. People are afraid to be vulnerable, okay? I don't think people want to put themselves out there as much as they did. Maybe it's past relationships or they seen their friends get hurt and they're like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be crying. No one wants to get hurt. Going through a relationship and having your heart broken is truly, it's truly difficult. It's truly, a really hard time in people's lives when that happens. So I truly understand that. But, I think a lot of people are shutting themselves out from, possible good relationships because they're so afraid of, they're already thinking of the worst case scenario, And, for a personal example, guys, I'll be vulnerable with you, is that one time I had this girl. I don't think she's gonna be watching this, but shout out to you if you are. So I had this girl. She came up to me while I was at work. I was chilling, mind my own business, and she came up to me and she's just like, oh hi, can you help me find where the sink is so I can refill my water bottle? And I'm like, yeah, cool, it's over here. And then she's like, okay, thanks. What's your name? And I'm like, my name's Simon. And she said her name. And then she's like, oh, you're cute. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Like, now I know why you're talking to me. So, she said I was cute. And I obviously got her number after that. But it was weird after that because it was like after I got her number, it's like she didn't put any effort. It's like she's just like, I got his attention. That's all I wanted. Because I say that because, as we were talking, I try to get to know her, stuff like that. And then I try to schedule a date, people say don't do this over text, do it in person, do it over FaceTime. I tried doing it in person, schedules don't align, and FaceTime, not everybody's comfortable with FaceTime, which I get. So, anyway, I try to schedule this date, and it's like, she said she was busy, which I get. I mean, kind of a lie, but I get it. Everybody's busy. But the point is, it's just like, man, how are you gonna put an effort into wanting to get to know me? Not really get to know me, but like reach out to me. But then like when it actually is time to get to know me, there's like no effort, right? And like it's more than that. I don't want to like completely like explain the whole situation, what happened, but that's just the basic, right? So the girl approached me. I put in the effort of trying to get to know her, try to get a date. And then it's just like there was just basically no reciprocation. And this isn't the only time that's happened to me. That's happened to me, I would say, like most of my dating experience with girls that I've actually tried to talk to, right? So I'm just always wondering, like, is this a thing? Is this common? Like, do people don't want to try anymore? Is it just, cooler to be like, oh, I didn't try and I still bagged, I think that's probably where like it comes from. It's just like ego, like, oh, I'm so cool, I don't have to try. And I get it, don't chase, you always want to attract, but at the same time the attraction should be reciprocal. So for that example I mentioned, what would have made me believe that like she was putting in effort is if like she was like, okay, I'm busy but I still want to hang out with you, does this day work for you? Or like, I'm sorry, Because I told her what days I'm available, right? And she's like, oh, I can't hang out the entire week, right? So 7 days a week she can't hang out. So she, so like I feel like responses to that, it's just like, if you really do want to hang out with someone and put in the effort, you know, I get it, everybody's busy, but if you want to put in the effort and like actually try to know someone, it's just like, my schedule's so packed, but this day works for me. Or like next week, can we do next week, please? Like, I'm so sorry, like, you know, like, so then they're making it look like, oh, you do want to see me. Because then it's just like, if you don't say that, then it's just like, I'm in the position where it's just like, do you really want to hang out with me? Because like, I'm not going to just like be like, oh, you're too busy? That's fine, maybe later. Hey, do you want to hang out now? Do you want to hang out now? It's like, no, it's like, there needs to be like, I think of like relationships and dating as in tennis, right? I'm going to serve the ball, right? That's me shooting my shot. I'm going to serve the ball, and you got to hit the ball back. If you don't hit the ball back, there's no more fucking game. I'm just going to leave and go to a different court and play with someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot serve the ball, right? And then run to the other side and then hit it to myself, run it back to the other side, hit it to, so I'm playing this game by myself, right? Like, no, there needs to be reciprocation, right? You hit the ball back, I hit the ball back. And then as soon as one of us drops the ball or one of us fucks up, you know, we keep playing, and that's relationships. There's gonna be hard times, there's gonna be good times, right? There's never gonna be a Disney Channel fairy tale ending. Like we love for that to happen, but it's just not realistic for everybody, you know? My parents have been married for over 20, 30 years, right? And if you think that, you know, they would tell you firsthand, their marriage it has good times and it has bad times. Like, you know, there's no such thing as like a perfect happy marriage. Really, you're always gonna have fights, you're always gonna have arguments. That's just life, right? But how you go about it is what makes you separate from the other people that are together and that aren't together, right? So it's just like, maybe that's why people aren't in committed relationships anymore, like marriages and stuff like that. Because, you know, when you come into a relationship with no effort, as soon as it gets tough, you're just gonna bail, you know, because there was never no foundational groundwork. So I don't know. Yeah, that's my app section for today. I'm just wondering, like, why do people don't put in relationship? Why don't people put any effort in relationships anymore? And like, what was the cause of this? And like, is it because of social media? Is it just too many options? You know, is it because like, you know, don't judge me, but I was talking to ChatGPT. You know, one of my mentors was like, you need to use ChatGPT. So I was using ChatGPT a lot, and I was talking to it about, you know, some of my problems. And then they're like, you know, some people treat dating as if it was like, you know, a phone, right? You got a lot of backup chargers, but you still got your main charger, right? That's how it is in this dating world. A lot of people got their fucking backup chargers, but they still got their main charger. So, you know, people think that they like you, but really they just like the idea of you, right? And so, you know, when it actually comes down to like getting to know you, they're like, oh shoot, you're not, like the perception of what they think of you is different. So then maybe that's why they bail, because it's just like, you're not what I thought you were, right? They don't even want to like work with what you're, where you're at, or like who you are, because they just, you know, you're a pretty face, or like you got a good body or something like that, or you got a lot of money, and then they're just like, oh, I want to know you, and then they get to know you, or they barely get to know you, and they're like, actually. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's tough out there, you know? That's why I'm still single. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully things will change. You know, I'm definitely hopeful for the best. You always got to hope for the best, you know? So, you know, this is just me venting, me getting my thoughts out, me projecting my beliefs and systems and rants onto the internet. So if you really agreed with this, or you felt any value to this, or you like this message touched you, please share this video, or subscribe, or like, you know? I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're so close. We're 2 subscribers away. Please share this video. Let me know what you want me to rant about, or topics to discuss next in the comments. I read all the comments. I respond to all the comments. So I would really appreciate it if you comment. Anyways, yeah, that was one of my TED Talks / rants. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.